Hello world, this is JWP, J.Ward Primo Beats, back in for a second session of vocal mixing. I'm currently looking at levels, and without further ado, I'm just going to jump right back into it. Not much else to explain. I am looking at the guitar at this point. So, yeah, continue along with that. These are cranked full blast. I'm not sure what I can do to get more gain out of them. It looks like direct wave is cranked as well. Perhaps I can use the miscellaneous functions and amp from there. Looking at the velocities, they are cranked as well. So yeah, this is practically my only option here. I just need a little bit more. So let's go 3 dB. And just bear with me for a second. Just relaying into chat. Alright, yeah, so I wasn't sure if you needed to refresh. And still kind of on the low end. We'll wait for those big chords to hit again. We'll see where they're topping out. Thanks for the welcome back. Yeah. Not a lot of people sit in on my sessions. This is a change of format for me. As practice, and a lot of my live performance mixing doesn't get a lot of attention. Okay, so we're still sitting at 6. Not sure what's going on there. Let's push another 3 in. In fact, let's just grab this pattern. It looks like right here. This will be the loudest point. Not getting anything else out of it. What if I crank this? Okay, so now we're getting some response there. These VCAs, man. Okay, 3. Not even sure what that digit represents. Let's go by 3. So any word on the party action there? Salt beats? Still no sitter? Okay, I'm going to switch to guitar 2. This is the lead type. And velocities are maxed. Velocities are maxed. Channel volume is maxed. Watch my headset. I'm not killing the stream with S's. It's a no-go. We are going to get together on Friday. Well then, I'm sure there's many other options for the evening. Of course, you're more than welcome to hang out during my streams. No problem at all. I appreciate any feedback. Or any, I say background chatter. No problem. Yeah. Okay, so is that the loudest part? Of course it's the loudest part because these are cranked. Let's get some juice in there. And I'm just pushing the max everything. I feel like this is a bad idea. Because that's max now, and I'm still not hitting 3. What is going on? Velocity gain. I don't want to touch that. I have bad experiences with that. But in this case, what is it sitting at? 32. Let's go 50. It's not doing much for it. If anything, is subtracting from it. That's what I don't like about direct waves, modulation knobs. Let's bring it down and see what happens. Let's try 10%. No, that's lower. Okay, let's try 75. Still nothing. Reset? No, killed it. Okay, so 33. And that's as loud as she's gonna get, I guess. That's all Neutron's gonna get. Alright. Piano, I'm going to turn that down. Where? What are the velocities on that? Velocities are a little dynamic. So, I really hate to touch the channel knob, but it looks like I'm going to have to. So before I open that up, I'm going to bring that down a bit to about 80%. What are we looking at now? Something a little more bearable. Still a bit on the loud side. Let's drop that to 75%. At -6. Okay, that's peaking out good decently. Alright, it's time to let Neutron do its thing, I suppose. Let's give it a quick preview. Of course, this is going to be super loud. Fair warning. Let's drop that selection from the left and open everything up and go.
Heavy metal in the devil, we got shit to settle. Push the pedal to the metal, rap podium.
Alright, let's start grabbing neutrons. And mix this next. We want up front and percussion kick. Intensity high and go. Close that. On to the second one. Let's move this down. And continuing with the super cheater methods that costs thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars to do. So up front, I usually like to bring my kick and snare to the front. This is actually a kick. Yeah. So go, close that off, snare drum, and again mix assistant, percussion, snare, and intensity high, close, hi-hat closed. This is the cymbal selection, so next. Percussion cymbals, we'll keep it at medium intensity up front. And continuing, open hi-hat. I need to give it something to feed it. So there's no open hi-hat here. I'm gonna have to come back here. And I'll just... I'm still listening. Why is it still listening? Because these are all turned off, that's why. Alright, so let's turn these on so it can do its thing. Accept. I'm going to close that off. And accept. Snare drum. Accept. Hi-hat closed. Close. Okay, so I need to target the open hi-hats where it looks like it's sitting right now. Let's try these two bars. In fact, let's close off the vocals and get in here. That's the closed. I want the open. And same thing, cymbals. Up front, medium intensity, percussion cymbals, next. And hi-hat out is fine. Crash, I'll worry about that later. Oh yeah, I gotta turn on the effects for it to actually be able to hear anything. Just go ahead and turn on effects for everybody here. I'm starting to break down a bit, which is fine. Just these windows have to stay closed. This is a bass. Auto detects bass. This is a standard bass. We'll go up front and high. Warm. Yeah, it's called warm. Next. And close that off. I'm not a fan of Neutron's guitar stuff. It seems to just want to distort everything. But we'll let it do its thing. And I'll go back in and put it under the microscope. Just checking my stream levels here. Everything looks like it's running as expected. So auto detect guitar, clean electric. We'll bring this balanced, medium intensity. Go. Guitar 2. And mix assists next. guitar, clean electric. This one I want up front. We'll keep it medium intensity. Yeah, that's a lead. Close that off. And piano. And of course I'm looping round and round here. Let's get over that. As open is done, accept, X, and look for that crash, which I believe is here. We'll get that running through the cymbal mix assist. And we want that low intensity, balanced percussion cymbals, go. Close that off. I was at guitar 2. Accept. And I know I forgot about guitar 1, but I want to get off this loop. Mix assistant. And I want piano. What kind of piano is this? It's like a honky tonk. So balanced. Intensity medium. Piano. Keys. Piano. X. And crash should be done. Accept. Close that and get off this loop. And neutron for piano. It's done. And I should be in my cans. I didn't even think of that. Crash. I don't even know why I put mix it, morph it on if I'm not in my cans. And bass, that was done, dealt with. Oh no, it wasn't. Accept. Guitar, rhythm guitar, accept. Alright, so neutron is active everywhere. Let's give that a full stop. Grab my cans. I don't know how this transition is gonna go, so I'm gonna mute my mic just to duck all the clicking that's gonna happen here. Mic check. Okay, there we go. Yeah, my mic muter is an automatic muter. It has an on-screen display, and when I switched headphones, the drivers got all messed. And anyway, recovered. So back into FL. Now I'm in the cans. And I don't know how the microphone response is here, as the microphone is in a different position now. How is the microphone response? Like, can you hear me breathing too much, or am I too loud? The stream is itself quite loud. I do a lot of ducking and compression. Okay, cool. It is fine, decent enough as is. Jumping back to... So Neutron is laid across everything with Nectar here and there. At this point, I want to bring in tonal balance per Sweets. Mastering. Yeah, there it is. And I generally just use this to control the gains. If it ever feel like loading. So we'll go fine, I guess, whatever. And I gotta name my channels. So we'll drop that. Just taking a look at neutrons. Kick. It's fine. This should be kick 2. 2. SD. Snare. Actually, I can just look at this from tonal and see if there's anything that kind of sticks out. Okay, symbols 1, 2, and 3. So that would be closed, open, and crash. Of course, Nectar. I don't know why Nectar creates so many outputs. Probably for its different EQs. Clean electric 2, bass. Where's my piano? Okay, there's the piano. Alright. System playback. Ooh. That is crazy loud in my headphones. No, it's crazy loud on stream, but the control is different between my headphones and the stream. Just keeping my levels at a decent listening amount. Stream, I'm a bit lower than everything else. Might have to be a bit louder. It's fine. But I do have the output on the Realtek sidechain to my microphone, so when I talk, it cuts the beat. Span. We are everywhere. Bass, first noticeably. Span's being annoying because it doesn't click to bring to front. Yeah, look at that, ouch. Let's drop that first. Bass. And bring you down about -12. My aim for span, I believe, should be about -18. Just here. That's a maximum. I prefer -24. Looks like my fundamentals half dead. Let's minimize that, close the pattern, and the channel rack. So let's drop that a bit more to -18. So the span says -24, that's not bad. Bass drums. Oof. Yeah. Okay, jumping on the bass drums. Let's bring those down -18 as well. What are we looking here? It should be sitting at 24, so we're a little low. Let's try -12. Looks like my BD2 is a little in need of a push. Let's bring them up just a bit more. So to be -10.5. And looks like we're hitting 24 now. Except that second one needs some more juice. So let's just bring that back up to 12. No, let's go 15. Let's crank it a bit. Oh, I'm going the wrong way, that's why. Okay, -9. -7.5. Okay. And then from there, let's check out the balance between them. Of course, it's the end of the beat. And I can use some more juice in the headphones. Snare drum. Oof. 24. How's that between the other guys? Not bad. Such a wide instrument. Hi-hats. These are definitely going to need to come right down. Oof. Cymbals, let's drop that rate down to 18. Because cymbals can be overbearing. That crash probably will drop that -22. Is that 2.2 or 22? Okay, 22. Let's replay that crash. It's gotta have some impact, I guess. Bass is good, guitar. Let's drop the hi-hats and bring in the bass drum just for reference. Guitar 1. And not that. So guitar. Let's put that in the background a bit. -18. Oh, it's just dominating. Push it further back, just by a bit. -19, 20, 21. And secondary. Why is that all quiet? Still full blast. I think Neutron might have chewed it up. Yeah, Neutron did chew it up. Because I picked a different intensity, that's why. So let's run it through again. I'm just going to restart Neutron. Let's delete. It's going to be loud. Sweets Neutron. And Exist. Oh, that's Newt Nectar. Because they both start with N. So, Neutron. Exist and track enhance, auto detect, guitar clean, go medium. This is a lead. I thought I'd put this as a lead, so we'll go high intensity because it's a lead. Let that do its thing. And let's wait for it. Of course, I'm going to keep talking to keep the monster attack down. Just to keep the side chainer from blaring that. And it looks like it might be done now. Yep. Jump into tonal balance control. Let's drop that to 18 at least. Sitting at 18, it's still pretty powerful. So go 22 like the 21. And piano. Oh, that's a raunchy piano. Is the exciter doing that? It is, I think. Sounds okay, I guess. Could just actually drop it in here. Negative 18, I guess, starting point. And we'll see where that's coming in on span. Way too low. Let's push that back up to, say, 12. Still want it to touch that 24. So 9. It's just touching the 24. And vocals are not a consideration at this time. Let's bring everybody back online from the left. Oof. Drop that. Back up a bit. That rhythm guitar is half dead. Back up. 15. Visual mixer. I don't really care for the which way it snaps. So if I bring in, let's go selected channel and go visual. It's under mastering. The neutron thing? Yeah, visual mixer. So I'm not too focused on stereo imaging right now, and the way it kind of like there's no way to control decibel levels directly. Oh, it looks like there is. Ooh. Yeah. See that, like, it's not enough control for me. Yeah, well, I like tonal balance control for its control. Because this guy here, I'm just touching the surface right now. And I gotta figure out where that is now. Visual mixer kind of messed with me a bit. Okay, that's where it needs to be for now. I do like the idea of using visual mixer to get the stereo imaging, to experiment with the stereo imaging. It's just not as sensitive as I'd like. Like, it would be nice if there was a pop-up on the side where I can dial in, you know, stereo separation or stereo location or just decibels. Snare sounding a little overbearing. Everything feels nice and cohesive though. For introduction. Might be able to turn off the limiter now. Okay, I'm gonna check the stream, make sure I'm not blaring. I do have a limiter on the stream, but that's reasonable. That's where a mix should be before touching ozone. But I won't be bringing in ozone at this time because there's still the vocals to consider. So within cohesion, you literally just drag it up and down for decibel volume and then drag left and right for stereo and expanding the bubbles left and right to widen and mono up a signal. Yeah, I like tonal balance control just because I have that little bit of control, and I'm not really focused on stereo imaging, so when I get to that point, perhaps I will be looking at visual mixer. In fact, at this time, I'm going to pull that down. I'm just looking at levels right now and consistency, and there's still a lot of other considerations, specifically my my root note for the bass drum and where the snares sit. Right now, just looking at it for span, just look at just the drums. doesn't seem to be apparent too much, you say, dissonance or any sort of anything out of place. I will be looking at that now. I have no clue what the key was for this. It looks like an F. If we go into the first instrument, the bass, looks like E. So, drop in a scale, or actually I can just highlight scale. No, I can't because I gotta figure out what it is. It's looping around there. So yeah, that's not sitting on key at all. Let's try shifting things around a bit. This is major. Looks like these two guys are sitting beside each other. So it looks like a G major. Let's drop another G down here. Major stamp, G. So E's there, G's there, A, B, C, D, E, F, F and F sharp against a G. So I do believe this is a G major, with my root being E. Can be wrong. Let's get a second opinion from the guitars. So, another major. Stay on G. Okay, again. Of course, back in these days, I didn't really much care for music theory, but I at least had some standards. I just took the fattest part. A bunch of emojicons. Interesting. Breaking news. Alert the media. Yeah, so it looks like G major. I'm gonna put that stuff up there. Scale. G, 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 G. Yeah, it's all fitting into G major. This is important as well as I do auto-tune vocals. Not specifically auto-tune to T-Pain, but auto-tune in the sense that they get them to fit into the key. I'm looking at 33 minutes, which is fine. And let's drop that out. And as it stands, my kick, that's what I was looking at, kick is in F. The lower one being on A, B. So I want to bring that up to G. Actually, I want to bring that up to E, as that's my key, or my root. Oh, it is on E. Okay, what about that second guy? Might be sitting on A. I have a sneaking suspicion it's on A. No, it's on a high E. That gets in the way of the bass. So I might be able to bring that to the 5th. And of course, drum max is a pain for tuning. I do have my frequency shifter, although I do have the ability to touch on the tune, so I'd much prefer to do that. Decay, noise level, phase, frequency. Does it give me any sort of... no. Okay, so I'm going to save here as inversion, and we're going to start meddling with the kick. Let's try to get it to A. So let's drop this a bit. Let's actually drop it drastically. Did nothing. It was at 35%. Jumping on to the middle. This is at 32.5. I'm going to copy that value and push that up just to see if it's going to respond. I got some response there, but not the one I was looking for. Paste that back in. High frequency response. Sitting at 81.12. I copied that. Okay, I'm looking in the wrong place here. shape, size. See, this is the problem with drum max. Like, where are they controlled? Tension. Copy this first. And let's bring up the tension. Nope. Paste. Maybe the size of the drum itself. Copy that value first, which is 26. Okay, pushing up. Okay, bigger drum, smaller drum sounds like. Bigger drum. Okay, now we got some control here. Let's drop this down a bit. Let's actually paste the original value. So we want to go from E to A. So it looks like a little bit underneath that line. What happens if I drop it? Yeah, it turns into a smaller drum. Okay, so I want a bigger drum. Seems like we broke some sort of threshold there. Okay, so now we're sitting at A. And that's now out of the way of the bass. Sitting on its own, so we got like a trilogy of bass instruments down there. Let's give that a listen. And what kind of drummer has a smaller bass drum beside him? Drum Max does, I guess. Bass is looking a bit on the high end. Looks like I lost some gain by shifting. Let's listen to everybody.
The power of the dollar, lyrically a marijuana.
It's banging, it's kicking anyway. Let's look at this snare. Where is this snare sitting? A D. So what is that in contrast to E? It's like a note before it. Not really liking that idea. Let's bring that up to an E. It's sitting high enough, it'll actually bump right into the bass. Okay, that's just annoying while I'm trying to think here. Get at that snare drum anyway. Again, I'm going to save. Things worked out well. It's the wrong snare. I must have had something different in mind. Different key tuning. Originally, because F sitting on a G major, what is that? F G, that's again out of place. Oops. So D to what? D to E, that's going to bump into the bass. Let's give it like a little cup snare. That comes again with size, so I want to shrink it. And let's aim for that A in the second octave. Or is it an A? E, A. That's what I did for the other secondary bass drum. So that'll be a quad wrap. Yeah, so let's bring the up to the third A. E2, which is quite low. Get the A happening. Mixer. Come up still a bit. a little bit smaller. Let's try 35. G just about. 33. G and it's like it's stuck sometimes. It's like the internal mechanisms are hitting blocks. So yeah, it just pretty much jumped right to A on its own. Except it's a little bit off still. So let's increase that 31.5. Just a little bit more. Okay, so 31. See, it'd be nice if those had notes. Alright, Zolts, I'll be here. So that looks good. Of course, it also doesn't help that Neutron is doing its own EQs. I'm gonna have to give it a rerun. See, it doesn't seem to like 220. Let's give it a playback.
Go, hug and nibble. I got tricks for shizzle. Limp like a pimp chisel.
I like the way it sounded. Feels like it's fitting better. And the hats now, at least the hats. Where are these guys sitting? F. Let's try and navigate those two with G. So F, F, G, just one up. Here, I do believe. Yeah. So what am I doing here? Changing the size? Let's save before I start messing with things. Let's close. Let's bring in back that old value. Paste. See if we can get these guys up to G. So just closed for now. Okay, what happens if I make them incredibly large? Yeah, they start dropping. Not sure what's going on there. Cut off. Tension, material. What is SOF? Well, I'm just going to actually wiggle around the knobs to see what happens here. Copy. Just one. How do I mute? Does that change something? So they must be all kind of sitting in the same spot. What is I doing? Oh, I forgot to copy that value. So Control Z, Control Alt Z, Control Alt Z. Okay, so Z again. Let's pull them up. Okay, so copy this value and it's sitting at 94. Let's push it to 98. And 98 or 96. Where are we sitting now? We're way up on A now. Let's subtract a bit. 93 and 96. And now we're a bit closer to G. Just copy and paste between the stereoized or stereo conceptual, between the stereo hats. Okay, drop this. And a bit more like G. opens. I feel like it has so much noise, it's just everywhere. But does it sound like the low hat? It actually kind of sounds higher. Let's choke it out a bit. I'm going to keep the closed for reference. Let's open. Let's go 92. Maybe 94. And 91. Just type that in fact. 0.91. Look for some open hits. No. Let's try 97 with 95. 94. 92 and 96. It does sound a bit more consistent now. So, without splitting too many hairs, I'm going to go with that. And just save yourself some time and buy Hornet's Normalizer. Tell you it what reading you want. For example, -18, and you hit 2 buttons, it does it for you. Either raises or lowers the volume when you're at set number. This is just the way I roll, man. These are like the baby steps compared to the bigger picture. Let's bring back on the neutrons. And just want that crash now. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do too much for that crash. See where it is. So yeah, that's huge. I had to guess the B. I had to guess. Where does B sit against E? What's in the key? It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the crash is like a 7th or a 9th. I don't know. Music theory falls apart at this point. Let's listen to it all together.
Blow the whistle.
And I feel kind of dead now. Everything kind of went flat. It's hats. Some volume back into these guys. It's actually probably the EQs on neutrons. I'm just going to give them a second run. Let it zero in. And the crash, well, the crash didn't change. I'm pretty sure I did change. No, I didn't change the style crash. main bass drum can come up just a tad. So negative 10.5. Let's actually get a limiter on, or not a limiter, but a complete wraparound. Cut out some of that stuff they don't actually hear. Linear phase. That should give it a bit better of a poke here. My lowest note is, of course, the first E. So I should be, it looks like I got a subharmonic there at C. 30. Let's see how high we can pull this up here. Where's the... Oh, it's just so low I can't see it. So let's go about 30. See what that chopped out. Not much. Because most EQs don't really have a good low end response. I mean, what would it take to do some serious cutting down there? Let's try 75. Yeah, the whole ass end's gone now. I just want a little bit. So let's try right on the fundamental. Key, E1. Better. For better or worse, I'm gonna have to pull on it. So let's get to pulling on it. Q, where's this sitting? G2. Now I want that on E. E2, E1. Crank. 9. How's that looking? Yeah, it can come down a little bit. Let's drop it down to about 7.5. Secondary bass drum sounds fine, but I guess I could pull on it at A1 because Neutron probably stuck its EQ somewhere strange. Of course it did. It's A1, that actually has to come up. G, A sharp, down a bit. Oh, that's the Q. I want the, yep. And let's look at span at the same time. Aiming for 24. Up, up, up. I have to crank it. Oh, that's the wrong A. Okay, so A1. What in fact is A1? Looks like 55. It's 56. Can I nudge it down to 55? Oh. And my stomach is not happy. 5. And up just a little bit more. Alright.
Stone cold, deep.
I'm just gonna disable those vocals for now. is kicking. It's turned off here. Limiter. Now is the track handling it? Except it's handling it fine. Alright, so with the beat in a sense of control, save as version, I can start focusing on the vocals. And I am looking at 55 seconds. So I'm going to call this stream here, and next stream we'll dive into the wonderful world of vocals. So this I do believe is G major. I'll be looking at Cubase because I prefer Cubase over FL Studio's Newtone, because I find Newtone really chews things up and makes things sound digital, whereas Cubase's Vera Audio does a pretty pristine job. I don't know about Melodyne. I do have some Melodyne access, but why bother? Apparently Melodyne won some awards. The 2020 NAMM or whatever won the big award there. Unfortunately, it does cost a left testicle, so I already have Cubase. That's the way it is. So I'm not sure if Saltbeats is still hanging out. If you are, I will be back for some focus on vocals. Until then, yeah. So the outro, I shall return.